ball over at first base. Opportunity perhaps with a hit and run with Giamatello to play. Hit and run is on. That is down the line. That's a fair ball into the corner. Cruz will cut it off. Ivar's coming home. He's going to score. Drive home safely. Johnny Giamatello, the hero tonight. 4-3 the final. Like that baby out. Not a bad way to start the homestand for the Angels. Not a whole lot of things have gone well for the Halos through the first month plus, but it's nice to see the back-to-back walk-off wins tonight. They kick off a 4-game series against the division-leading Houston Astros. Hi, everybody, from inside the Big A. We welcome you back to Angels Baseball on Fox Sports West, along with Mark Gubiza. I'm Victor Rojas, and there's no question, a lot of excitement to end those ball games. But, of course, the offense needs to get it going. There is one guy that continues to swing the bat very well. Not only that, with the glove as well, and that's number 27.
Yeah, Victor, I think he's a pretty good player.
Yeah.
Take a look at our AT&T U-verse Rewind. You're going to see him perform his magic once again. First with the bat, going to Bo Jackson territory in dead center field. You're talking about squaring up a baseball extremely well. That fastball out over the plate, he crushed it. Then the defense go flying through the air. Outstanding read, kept his eyes on the baseball, able to secure that when he slides on that grass into the warning track. So good, once again, for Mike Trout. Phenomenal type player. Look for him to do it again here tonight. Who knows what he's going to do, because he can hit the ball out of the ballpark, he can run, he can catch it, and throw it.
Well, the Angels are facing a right-hander by the name of Colin McHugh. He's got himself an 11-game winning streak going back to last August, and Hector Santiago will toe the slab for the Halos as the Angels try to make it 3 in a row. We're just about ready for baseball here at the Big A. Sit back and relax. Lineups at first pitch when we return. Angels Baseball is brought to you by CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. Start here. And by Jack in the Box. Jack's hottest sandwich is back. Head to Jack in the Box for Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. Angels baseball is brought to you by the 2015 Jeep Cherokee with an EPA estimate 31 highway miles per gallon. Visit Jeep.com for more information. And by AT&T Uverse. More live TV channels on the go than cable. Well, I know some folks have been worried about the forecast, but it is Southern California, so no rain as of right now. So should be all right. No tarp. Everyone hit on the field, and everything is a go here tonight. Hector Santiago is ready to go, and the Angels facing the Houston Astros that have gotten off to a fantastic start, although swept by the Texas Rangers at Minute Maid Park. Houston rolls into this one with an 18-10 record. The Angels, with the back-to-back dramatic victories, now find themselves 2 under 500 at 13-15 and 5 games back of the division-leading Houston Astros.
Yeah, you just got to start playing good baseball. That's the bottom line.
No question about it. A little more consistency, especially on the offensive side and passing the baton. Let us check out A.J. Hinch's starting lineup for the Astros. Mentioned that 18-10 record. They are 10-2 out on the road, 8-8 at home. Jose Altuve will lead things off. He's at second base. Luis Valbuena, the third baseman. Evan Gattis, a DH. It's Colby Rasmus in right field. No George Springer. He was placed on the 7-day concussion list yesterday after slamming into the right field wall at Minute Maid Park. Chris Carter will serve as the first baseman. Jason Castro behind the plate. Jake Marisnick off to a very good start. He's in center. Preston Tucker making his major league debut tonight. He's in left. And it's Jonathan Villar batting ninth, playing shortstop. Taking on Hector Santiago, 2-2 record of 3.14 ERA.
Yeah, this has to stay balanced. We saw him as he's making those two lines to stay in that pitching lane to be more consistent. ERA 3.14, but when you look at his repertoire as far as his pitches so far this year for Hector, he has thrown a considerable amount of fastballs, 69% fastballs. His changeup has been good. Slider, curve, I'd like to see him throw a few more curveballs and sliders, especially against this Astro lineup. They will swing and miss, but they do attack mistakes out over the plate.
Defensively for the Angels tonight, you have Efren Navarro in left, Mike Trout in center, Cole Calhoun in right. The infield has David Freese and Eric Ibar on the left side. The hero last night, Johnny DiVitello second, Albert Pujols at first, and Chris Iannetta, after a couple of nights off, is back behind the plate.
Efren Navarro out in right field. It's really, out in left field, has really done a nice job playing that position. Start of the year in that position. 2 career outfield assists in left field. Has 1 error, but it's done a nice job making that transition from first base to a very solid outfielder too.
So Jose Altuve ready to lead things off. Diminutive second baseman for the Astros. Big 339 with 3 home runs and 19 runs batted in. 0 for his last 9. Always a dangerous hitter. And that fastball is a strike on the inside corner. Joe West, the crew chief, the cowboy himself, behind the plate today, calling the balls and strikes. Kerwin Danley at first, Rob Drake at second, and Gabe Morales at third as Altuve delivers a single to left on a high fastball. The leadoff man is on board.
Extremely quick on high fastballs, as you can see. That was a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, but still jumped on that pitch. Base hit. Now a stolen base threat right away.
Yeah, this is an Astros ball club, as we mentioned, 10-2 on the road. It has hit 77 points better on the road than at home, believe it or not, considering how hitter-friendly Minute Maid Park is. They've hit just 201 at home, 278 out on the road. Altuve thought about going, slammed on the brakes, and Valbuena looks at a strike.
Hector with 6 pickoffs last year, 7 in his career. He tested here early on.
Altuve tied with Springer for the team lead in stolen bases with 10. The Astros lead with 33 on the season. The Angels haven't even attempted that many. Valbuena hitting .204. He's the third baseman. 7 home runs, 11 runs batted in.
You know, one thing you'll notice about Altuve when he's trying to steal a base, the momentum he has. Keeps moving his feet. As a pitcher, if you can hold the baseball, make him stop, you got a real good chance of throwing him out. 56 stolen bases last year, which led the American League. He already has 10 this year, but has been caught twice. Just make him stop.
Valbuena tops this one toward Giavatello. They'll go to second for the force out. Back to first in time, a double play.
Boy, that was well turned by Giavatello over to Eric Ibar. A great feed from Giavatello. Quick footwork. Had that turn of his body and the perfect feed. High enough for Eric to be able to get out of the way of Altuve and complete a double play.
Not that Valbuena's a burner down the line, but that ball not hit that hard.
Yeah, off the bat, I didn't think they had a chance.
Agreed. So 2 outs and the bases clear for Evan Gattis, a DH. Hitting .206, 6 home runs and 18 runs batted in. And he will take up and away.
It's the first time this year with Hector on the mound. He's got a ground ball double play. Probably more of a fly ball type pitcher.
Evens up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike.
The thing you notice about Gattis, and there's AJ Hinch, has done a nice job managing this club. Very good record. Under control, letting his guys play their game. Very aggressive.
This one out to right field. Cole is there. And it only took, 6 pitches to get 3 outs. Way to the bottom of the first. Calhoun, Trout, and Pujols coming up scoreless. Sitting will check out Mike Scioscia's starting lineup for the Halos. It is Cole Calhoun leading things off in right field. Mike Trout at center. Albert Pujols at first base. Matt Joyce will serve as the cleanup hitter tonight. He's the DH. David Freese at third. Eric Ibar short. Johnny Giavatello at second. Efren Navarro getting the start at left field. And Chris Arnetta batting ninth, doing the catching as they take on the 27-year-old right-hander native of Covington, Georgia. His name is Colin McHugh.
Yeah, McHugh's fastball, 88-92 slider, curveball, changeup, cuts his fastball. Also, very good start for him so far, 4-0. But the keys to be successful against him: elevation of fastball. Get that fastball upstairs, especially when he tries to cut it, and bunch the hits together. He does not walk many batters, so you have to put together a rally with a bunch of hits.
4-0 record of 3.41 ERA for McHugh. The first one is down and away. Cole hitting .301, 3 home runs, 15 runs batted in. 1 for 4 game yesterday with a double and an RBI. 2 balls and no strikes. First time this year that McHugh has faced the Angels. There's 4 starts in his career against them, all last year. Fouled off, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Last start for McHugh was against Seattle. He gave up 4 runs, 6 hits, 4 of which were 4 home runs. It's the first 4 home runs he's allowed this year. The only other Astros pitcher to allow 4 home runs in a win, Mike Scott, May 5th, 1990.
Didn't have that forkball working?
Yeah, that was against the New York Metropolitans.
Also no-hit him also.
This one back toward the middle. They overshifted on Cole. Villar will throw him out, and there's the first down. Let's check out the defense for the Astros. Tucker, Marisnik, and Rasmus in the outfield from left to right. Valbuena, Villar, Altuve, and Carter from third to first, and Castro behind the plate.
Villar getting the start at shortstop, has a very strong throwing arm. He's at his 4th start in that position. Has committed 3 errors though. But he does have one of the strongest arms, 2 of the best arms in baseball in the American League playing here tonight. Ibar and Villar.
John homered last night, his 7th of the year. 17 runs batted in as McHugh delivers upstairs. It was Mike's only hit. Now he's having out to center field again. Marisnik giving chase, going back near the wall. He'll leap up, and he cannot come up with it. That is gone. A big fly to dead central for Trout. 1-0 Angels.
Tom guessing Trout, he wants to be in the opening game tomorrow. Home run to dead center. Last night, home run to dead center. First at bat tonight for Trout. 8 home runs on 18 RBI for Trout. Got that elevated fastball about belt high and right over the center field wall. Marisnik got back, leaped up. He's made some outstanding plays in the outfield we've seen over the years. Just over his glove. That's a strong man.
8th of the year, 18 runs batted in, and Albert will look at a strike.
What did we say in the opening? Just stay tuned. He might do something special. Well,
yeah.
He's already started.
Slider missing down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Some of the Astros broadcasters saying that McHugh's maybe gotten a little too cutter happy.
It's taking away his velocity.
Yeah.
When you throw a lot of cut fastballs, you end up cutting those pitches out over the plate to the big part of the bat, especially for right-handed batters.
Albert shoots one out to right, but Rasmus is there. 2 outs.
And another good swing for Trout. Got a fastball. This baseball got out quickly to dead center field.
Base is clear for Joyce with 2 outs now. Matt back in the starting lineup for the first time since Monday's game. Homered in that ball game, and he'll take it down low. First of the year. 148 home runs, 7 RBIs, 3 doubles on the season. Serving as the DH tonight. One ball, 1 strike. McHugh in his career against the Angels 2-2 and a 1.90 ERA. Off speed. Joyce in the hole now at 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He throws a lot of off speed. Doesn't throw many pure fastballs, straight fastballs, about 30%.
And Joyce goes down swinging. First strikeout for McHugh, but the Angels strike first. Mike Trout with 1 out, the bases cleared, delivers his 8th of the season.
Boy, did he get a fastball down the heart of the plate? He hit it to dead center field, right back up the middle and over. Up later in the game, we'll check out the big news from around the majors on the Carl's Jr. Sports Update.
Hector Santiago threw 7 pitches in the first inning. He'll face Rasmus, Carter, and Castro here in the second. Colby Rasmus, the starting right fielder tonight, hitting 256, 5 home runs, and 10 runs batted in as he cuts through that fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rasmus getting started right with Springer on the concussion list. One and 2. That's a called strike 3. Down goes Rasmus. 1 away.
And before the game for Yankees honorary first pitch, Guy Bear does a nice job on the pre and post game show for the Ducks. It was an outstanding goalie with great deception. Old school. Juan Marichal with the high leg kick. Second all time as far as wins as a goalie for the Ducks. Mighty Ducks. He was goaltending. Goals against average 2.75 for his career as a Duck. Outstanding.
Great hockey name.
Guy Bear.
Chris Carter, the first baseman, hitting 152. 4 home runs, 10 RBIs. Late on that one. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Hector took the loss in his last start. Now he's at San Francisco. Through 96 pitches in 5 innings. Gave him 4 runs on 9 hits. 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. A strike, but a command, it seems like, anyway, here early going in this ballpark.
Real good feel for his 4-seam fastball. That was a great location. Gentlemen, you go inside against Carter, you better go win with conviction.
Swing and a miss. Back-to-back punches. 2 out.
Well, that's conviction at 94. Got to buy him. Upstairs in the strike zone. A very good fastball hitter, especially against left-handed pitching. Carter could not catch up to that 94 at the belt.
A lot of home runs on this ball club for Houston. 42. They lead the league in home runs. Fifth in runs scored as Castro steps in, the catcher. In the hole at 0-1.
Yeah, they don't get cheated.
No.
They will swing and miss. But you better make your pitch. If you make good pitches, you can get them out.
They will swing and miss, and but that being said, for the most part, they've been able to bunch hits together, and a lot of them for extra bases. Because their on-base percentage as a team is good for 4th in the American League. Their slugging is 4th in the American League. A lot of times you'll see that the slugging percentage be up high for a big strikeout team with a lot of power, but little content, the on-base percentage is down a little bit lower. Altuve at the leadoff spot kind of helps negate some of that negative on-base percentage. Slow bouncer to second. Giavotella on to Pujols, and a 1-2-3 shutdown inning for Hector Santiago. Ahead of the second, the bottom of the second, with the Angels up 1-0. season. As we begin the bottom of the second, Freeze, Ibar, Giavotella. Oh, forget it's a 4-game series against the Houston Astros tomorrow night. First pitch at 7:05, and the first 20,000 adults in attendance receive a Mother's Day tote, courtesy of Farmer John. Purchase tickets today at the Angel Stadium ticket office or online at angels.com. Yeah, you got to wait till tomorrow.
Yes.
Don't cry.
It's okay.
It's okay. Do we have an extra tote that we can run down to?
Let me see.
Usually have some stuff back there.
We usually have some stuff.
Freeze hitting .210, 5 home runs, 19 RBIs. 0 for 2 yesterday, a big walk in the ninth inning to lead off that ninth. Pulls this one to third. Valbuena has it. 1 out.
Monday key for the Angels tonight to be successful against Colin McHugh. Sipping on fire. Look for a fastball. A little Florida Georgia line. Fire the gas, the fastball. Doesn't throw many of them. When he throws his fastball, either his 2-seamer or a 4-seam cut fastball, elevated out over the plate like Trout did, hit it out.
Ibar takes downstairs. Eric reaching on a fielder's choice in the ninth inning last night, scoring the winning run on the Giavotella double. Eric with a multi-hit game yesterday, fouls this one at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 doubles, 9 RBIs for Eric. .229 batting average. Eric hitting .210 from the left side, .292 from the right. Breaking ball, hook foul.
You look at the percentages of the pitches that McHugh will throw over the course of a game. You mentioned about 30% fastballs, 41% sliders, that's 7% changeups. 22% curveballs. So a lot of ball speed.
Lays off. Count even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1-0 Angels. Trout. First inning home run. On the corner, down goes Ibar. 2 outs.
Backdoor cut fastball.
We'll bring up Johnny Giavotella. Last night in the 9th inning, he did this on a hit and run.
Oh, just looking for a pitch to do some damage. I was talking to Mike Scioscia about that before the game. He said, impressive for Giavotella because that fastball ran inside. That's not easy, hit the ball the other way and put that ball on the line like that when it's in off the plate.
That wasn't quite his hit and run swing there. He was swinging for a solo shot.
That was the hit and jog run.
Yeah. He's looking for number 2. 286 average, 12 RBIs now.
And McHugh doesn't waste any time. Stays right on that pitching rubber. He's had 14 straight road starts in which he's allowed 3 runs or fewer.
Two balls and a strike. Second meeting between these two teams this year. Halos dropped 2 of 3 in Houston. Won the opening game of that series, but then draw the final 2. Giavotella swinging a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's a hard slider, cutter, whatever you want to call it.
That's the thing, when you throw a lot of cut fastballs, you almost take away your slider because it's similar break to it. One's a little bit harder than the other. Saw that happen for a while with John Lester when he was with Boston. There's so many cut fastballs. We went back to more the two-seamer and slider.
Breaking ball, slow hit to Valbuena. Halos go down in order here in the second. We'll head to the third. 1-0 Angels. Coming up for the Astros, Marisnick, Tucker, and Villar. Santiago with a 1-2-3 second, including 2 strikeouts. First one down low. Jake Marisnick off to a very good start. .342 batting average, 3 home runs, 12 runs batted in. .386 on base percentage. Skies one down the line. Cole racing over. Looks like he's got to play, and he does. There's the first down here in the third. Hey, folks, this Sunday, the Halos will take on the Astros to wrap up this 4-game set. Remember, on Sundays, it's a 12:35 start. It's Mother's Day.
Yes.
So don't forget to send Mom a card or some flowers, or how about a Mother's Day scarf?
Yes.
To see a Farmer John.
I like that.
First 20,000 adults in attendance will get it. Get your tickets now.
We are so set for Mother's Day now.
Yeah. Buy them today. Go tonight. Oh, that's actually Sunday. Wrong one. Preston Tucker, first big league at bat, sees the first pitch, pops it up to Albert Pujols. There's out number 2. Well, they weren't kidding. He doesn't get cheated in his hacks.
No. At the University of Florida.
Yeah.
Once had 11 RBIs in a game in Central Florida. I guess the old saying is you don't drive that many in if you're sitting out there waiting and walking. You're swinging.
That sounds like a multi-homer game. 2 or 3 home runs in that game.
You think?
So 2 quick outs, and Jonathan Villar steps in, shows bunt, looks at a strike. Switch hitting shortstop, hitting 185. Villar 1 for 14 against right-handed pitching this year. Or I should say as a right-handed batter.
85-mile-an-hour changeup. Hector on that one.
Chopper towards second base. Givatella has it. It's a play. It's a high throw, unfortunately. It was a heads-up play to charge that baseball so he doesn't play the short hop. Just couldn't get a handle on the baseball.
Yeah,
So it's an error.
I was just going to say the same thing. If he waits back, and it's going to be a very difficult play. Charge it, then the high throw. It looked like he couldn't get it quite the grip of the baseball, then a high throw. Albert checking to make sure Villar didn't turn towards second base, because if you do that, you can tag him out.
So a 2-out error puts a man on for Altuve. Singled to lead off the ball game. So he's 1 for 1. Error for Giavatella's 4th.
Now if you're Hecky, you stay under control, pick up your teammate, finish off this inning with no damage. I was going to say that looked like one.
It looked like Joe West called it.
Yeah, I've never seen Hector use that move before. Yeah, let's see right here. Yeah, he crossed the pitching rubber. That's what it was. When that foot is a left-handed pitcher, when you cross your foot on the pitching rubber, you have to go home at that point.
The amazing thing is, if that's the call, that the first base umpire didn't call it. The home plate umpire called it. You would think the first base, Kerwin Danley, had a better view of that. Now a man in scoring position. 2 balls and no strikes in Altuve.
And the one guy you certainly don't one up in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, you would almost rather just pitch around here. Altuve, it looks like that's what they're going to do. They're going to intentionally walk him here. I was like, why even mess around here with Valbuena lefty on deck? Go down as an intentional walk, his 5th of the season for Altuve.
Mike Scioscia's seen enough good swings by Altuve against Angel pitching. I think it's the wise decision.
I'm surprised they even wasted a pitch.
Because any pitch thrown against Altuve is a pitch he can swing at.
I mean, he's not quite Vladdy-like as far as plate coverage, but he has pretty good plate coverage.
Kind of reminds you a little bit like Kirby Puckett was. Kirby more power, but he had a lot of coverage for the plate. High pitches, low pitches, inside and out.
Valbuena bounced into a double play in the first inning. Little rally for Houston. Start on the error by Giavatello and the VR grounder. Now, after the balk, intentional walk to Altuve. A good breaking ball. A lot more under control tonight for Hector Santiago. As a matter of fact, you look at the ratio of strikes to balls. Fantastic. 21 strikes, 9 balls so far. You want to pick off. Ibar was cutting in. But as a lefty pitcher, you don't do that spin move. Difficult to get that ball to second.
Yeah, you have to pick up the shortstop. A lot of time it's a timing play. The shortstop will show his glove, and then you got to pick that up and spin around as quick as possible.
Good speed on the bases for Houston. One ball, one strike. Valbuena with 7 home runs this year. 4 doubles, hitting just .204.
He's worn out that short porch in left field at Minute Maid Park.
Cuts through the high fastball. He's hit only 163 at home. I'm telling you, that is the wildest thing.
In that ballpark?
In that ballpark. Their team splits. 201 versus 278.
I feel like the Rockies hitting better on the road instead of Coors Field.
1-2 pitch. The runners go. And nobody was covering at third. That looked like a pretty good pitch. It just missed off the plate.
That's what Mike's
never broke.
And so she's wondering about the pitch.
Tough to get that call, too, when you get a catcher that's moving out like that. Here's the 2-2. Upstairs, full count. Devin Gaddis on deck.
Big pitch here for Hector and the Angels.
Check swing, doesn't matter. Wrong up. Called strike 3. Down goes Valbuena. The inning is over. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Halos maintaining their 1-0 lead. Alex Morgan leads the U.S. women's national team against the best teams in the world in search of their third World Cup championship. The only place you can see the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup is on Fox and Fox Sports 1 beginning in 30 days. 30 days.
Yes.
The clock.
That's 6 players on the roster from California on that club. 4 from Jersey, too.
Why you look at me? I lived in Jersey.
That's why I'm giving you some Jersey love.
No. I made a pit stop in Jersey a couple of times, but I'm not from there. Efren Navarro, Chris Iannetta, Cole Calhoun. I mean, you were genuinely excited for me about that when you said that.
I like Jersey. Spent there 2 weeks every summer. Wildwood, New Jersey.
Oh, okay. On the shore?
Yes. The shore. Not the beach, but the shore.
You in the situation. This a little flare out to shallow left. BR calls for it, makes the catch. 1 out. Chris Iannetta steps up. 1 out. Nobody on. Chris Iannetta hitting 094. 1 double, 1 RBI. Carlos Perez got to start the last 2 games. Altuve pretty much up the middle in the shift. The Astros do move around quite a bit defensively in their shifts.
But when Chris is swinging the bat well, he's really hitting the ball hard to the right side of the infield. You can see that swing right there. He's pulling off, so he is going to roll over on ground balls to that left side of the infield. That's why you see 3 Astros on that part of the field. And when he stays back, he can drive it very well the other way.
2 outs, third strikeout for McHugh.
Another breaking ball. You're going to see a lot of breaking balls from McHugh. Slider pulled off the pitch. Again, Chris trying to stay back, but you can see his reaction.
Top of the order now, Cole Calhoun. 7 in a row retired by McHugh since the home run by Trout. Cole, a ground ball to short, his first time up. It's the only team that overshifts on Cole, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so, because Cole's been hitting the ball very well the other way himself. Good numbers in his career versus McHugh. 417 coming into the game.
One ball, one strike. Mentioned earlier, McHugh with an 11-game winning streak. Longest active winning streak in the majors. Dating back to August 12th of last year. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He's got that 89-mile-an-hour fastball by him upstairs.
Looks so tantalizing, too, especially when you continue to see so many sliders and cut fastballs. And he's got a pretty decent four-seam fastball, just doesn't use it a whole lot anymore. And breaking ball.
Especially when you know, as a hitter, when you go through the reports on him, a lot of off-speed pitches, whether it's slider, curve, or changeup. Sometimes you get caught in looking for those pitches and you miss out on an 88, 89-mile-an-hour fastball, which generally you're going to crush.
Yeah.
Kind of like what Trout did his first at bat. Got the fastball and crushed it.
2-2 now. Cole strikes out swinging, and the Angels go down in order. 3 in the books, 1-0 Halos. Angels leading at 1-0 here at the top of the 4th inning. 3 strikeouts, 1 intentional walk, 1 hit for Hector Santiago. Colin McHugh's allowed 1 base runner, and that was the home run to Trout in the first. Nothing since then. Kevin Gaddis, a fly ball to right field to end the first. He's 0 for 1.
He's been swinging the bat extremely hot of late, especially the power swing. His last 11 games, 5 home runs.
Bouncer to third. David Freese has it. One down.
And Hector's been pretty solid so far. And to take a look at our Fox vision when he's trying to locate pitches. This against Rasmus. Wants to go away. The target set. The target hit. Call third strike. Target, little cut fastball against Carter. Gets a swing and miss upstairs at 94 with some movement with that four-seamer. He's been under control so far.
Rasmus takes that one a little bit high. Called out on strikes leading off the second, so he's 0 for 1.
Another Astro has been swinging the bat well of late. Boy, a lot of pitches up, though. One thing we talked about earlier when Hector got a ground ball double plays, first of the year when being on the mound, that's the reason why. He throws a lot of pitches elevated. Whether it's his breaking ball, change up, fastball upstairs.
Which isn't necessarily a good thing.
So, yeah, when somebody's guessing right, you get a fastball up in the strike zone, you get your arms extended, that's when the baseball can go a long way. You want to be able to at least change. We talk about it often, changing eye levels. You also want to make sure you have a few pitches at least down in the strike zone.
Ground ball right back to the mound. The breaking ball had him fooled. 2 outs. Folks, the Angels take on the Rockies Wednesday at 7:05. Fans in attendance will receive a Mike Trout hat courtesy of State Farm while supplies last. Purchase tickets at the Angels Stadium ticket office or online at angels.com. Mike
cool
Trout hat, yo.
Yes. There's the old version.
Yeah. I think I'm digging the fish more. Carter swinging a miss.
That's made its ways around to a number of different stadiums. That
yes, it has. Upstream, downstream, doesn't matter. Carter, a strikeout victim himself in the second. That Trout hat that they're giving away against the Rockies, that's something you would have worn to the Jersey Shore.
Wow, there's no doubt.
Slightly askew to the side there.
Hang around on the boardwalk down there in Wildwood, New Jersey. It'd be perfect.
One ball, 2 strikes. The foam one, not so much. It's cute.
Yeah.
Kids like it. 2-2 now.
And kids at heart. Like us.
I concur. Two now to Carter. Full count. The old 2 out. Issues that have plagued Hector have been kept in check today. 3-2.
That's a good pitch. Ooh. Maybe just slightly below the strike zone, but right in the middle of the plate. Mike Scioscia was thinking that was a pretty good pitch. At that middle part of the plate, it's just below the knees.
So 2-out walk keeps the inning alive for Jason Castro, the catcher. Now one missing upstairs. Castro ground ball to second in the second inning. 0 for 1. Have a little 7-game hitting streak going for the Stanford product, former Stanford product. One ball, 1 strike.
.50 pitches thrown, 32 strikes for Hector.
Inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. The walk to Carter, second one issued by Hector. The other was the intentional walk of Altuve. Now they're calling a balk on Santiago here. Joe West calling the second balk.
Social wants a little bit more of an explanation here.
That's a balk.
Yeah, there's no doubt. You have to step off first before you do that.
Got to get locked back in on the hit. Forget about the guy at first base or any base runners with 2 outs.
Exactly. Carter's not going to run. It's more of a situation. It's the pitch sequence between Chris Iannetta and Hector Santiago.
2-2.
Not necessarily on the same page.
But that's when you, as a pitcher, have got to take control. You got to slow everything down. What's the rush?
With the man on second to go through a series of signs here. They have that game plan beforehand.
That hit him. Or was it a foul? Now they're calling it a foul ball. Mislocation on that one. Fortunate that it was a foul ball, not a hit by pitch.
So you can see that right there. They're just not quite on the same page.
2 fairly easy ground balls to start this 4th inning. Got ahead of Carter. Eventually walked him. 2-2. Full count. Throw down to second, and Carter gets the hand back in there. Good throw by Chris.
Another full count. Trying to get a secondary lead. Quickly throws back behind him. Almost got him. Quick tag by Eric Ibar. When you're not a real fast runner, you're trying to get that extra step as far as a secondary lead, and Iannetta saw that and tried to pick him off at second.
3rd full count for Hector Santiago. Marisnick on deck. Carter pulls it toward first, backhanded by Albert. Hector's there, and we'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Trout, Pujols, and Joyce coming up for the Halos. Angels up 1-0. To nothing. Trout coming to the plate back in the first inning.
Did this. Got a fastball against Q. Dead center field home run. Marisnik gave it a shot. Unable to catch it. Dino Ebel coaching third base, and Mike Trout remembers those times, slapping that hand as hard as he could, going around third for his 8th home run of the season. Dino Ebel taking over for Gary DiSarcino, had to go back east for a funeral.
Trout will look at a breaking ball for a strike. Trout now with 18 runs batted in. The base runner that Colin McHugh is allowed in this ball game. Has 4 strikeouts and no walks.
And what do we say about trying to bunch hits together against him? He doesn't walk many batters. Just 6 the entire year.
The Angels in general this year haven't bunched hits together.
Those 1, 2, 3 innings really have been in play so far this year for the offensive side.
Fastball got him looking on the outside part of the plate. 1 down.
Now it's time for our lows. Never stop improving. Speaking of swinging the bat well of late, Albert Pujols has a 9-game hit streak, hitting .353 during that stretch. Once had a 30-game hit streak back in 2003 with the St. Louis Cardinals. For Albert Pujols, the second longest, tied for the second longest in Cardinal history. A very rich history there in St. Louis.
Albert with the fly ball to right. Line to right field. That'll be a 10-game hitting streak.
So you knew he did that read for it to get that hit streak going. That's a good swing. That's 2 good swings in the game for Albert. Hitting the ball hard that way twice. Using the whole field.
Joyce 0 for 1. Strikeout. Off speed pitch out in front of it. It's jammed. Lost one out to shallow center field. Marisnik. Where's Albert going? Albert must have thought the ball was going to drop. This is going to turn into a double play.
Yeah, an assisted double play. For a center fielder, that does not happen too often for an outfielder.
No. 4 in the books. 1-0 Angels. Top of the fifth inning, 1-0 Angels, and it is Jake Marisnick to lead things off. How often does a guy make a fantastic defensive play to end an inning?
Unassisted. As an outfielder, double play.
You got to believe that Albert thought there were 2 outs.
And the only other thing you could be thinking, he thought that ball was going to fall into that outfield grass. He was going to be able to go first to third on it. But Marisnick, we've seen him cover a lot of ground. Very athletic.
Well, for one with a ground ball to third base. And Marisnick plays a somewhat shallow center field.
He's extremely aggressive going in on the baseball and going back, as we saw against Trout.
No balls and 2 strikes. Marisnick coming over to the Astros in the Jared Kozar deal.
Riverside Poly High School.
Originally a Blue Jay. This one down the line, but hook and foul.
That's where you want to throw your slider in the dirt. And I think Chris Iannetta was trying to give him that target, even bounce it, trust him he's going to keep it in front of him. He was motioned to keep that ball down. It was down, but too much of the plate, especially 0-2 against a relatively young hitter.
Jammed with that fastball. Still at 0-2. Marisnick was part of that trade that Jose Reyes, Mark Burley part of it between the Marlins blockbuster deal, the Blue Jays. He got traded last year to Houston. Keeps his plate appearance alive. Still at 0-2. Hector at 62 pitches now. 3 punch outs, 2 walks, 1 hit. Check swing. No, he didn't.
He's pretty close to chasing that one. So he was able to hold up. Real close.
Back in the National League days?
Oh, he's out.
Just for taking the bat off the shoulders. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
As Hawk would say, he gone.
Grab some pine.
Yeah.
Preston Tucker on deck. It's the bottom third of the order for Houston here in the 5th. So we've gone from 0-2 to 3-2. 10 pitches thrown.
And that pitch is a strike, but because you have your catcher setting up in, has to reach back across the plate, you're not going to get that call, but that was definitely in the strike zone.
Now Hector backs out. Oh, back inside, 3-2. Foul back. Was it Alex or Joey Core that had that 16, 17, whatever pitch at bat?
Might have been
close more down.
Yeah, it might have been close to 20. It was with the Dodgers, I think it was. That fastball at 95 from Hector. Still felt all along in the sequence, bounce the slider, you get a swing and miss.
And a called strike 3 on the inside corner on the breaking ball. Marisnick doesn't like the call. 1 out, a 13-pitch plate appearance.
Boy, look at our Fox tracks, the number of these spots on this sequence. This breaking ball, it is slightly off the inside corner, but a lot of pitches, middle up, had an opportunity to bounce a slider maybe during that sequence to throw a lot less pitches, but Marisnick is out on the call, 3rd strike.
Preston Tucker takes inside. Major League debut tonight. Saw 1 pitch in his 3rd inning at bat and popped out to Pujols. 2 balls and no strikes. 7th round pick in 2012 at the University of Florida. They really like his bat. Kind of a guy without a position, however. He's been playing a lot of left field in the minor leagues. 3 balls and no strikes. Preston Tucker. Wasn't that name of the architect in Something About Mary?
I don't remember.
There's the 3-1. And that is outside, ball 4.
How would you remember that one, by the way?
You know what? Just because it sounds familiar to me.
Shortstop number 2, Jonathan VR.
Tucker's one of the characters. Guy with the glasses. Great movie.
Oh, outstanding.
How could you not remember that? Brett Favre. VR to play with 1 out, 1 on. Switch hitting shortstop, reach on the air by Giavatelli. That looked to be a strike. It's not. 1-0. A good off-speed pitch.
Yeah, he stayed back well on that one. Change up at 83. Out of the strike zone, but because the pitch before was the upper part of the strike zone, got the call on that one, expanded his strike zone on that swing on a good changeup down. He hasn't thrown many pitches down, whether it's his changeup or even his breaking ball. See if he can get his 2nd ground ball double play of this game.
Two balks called in this game against Hector Santiago. Tucker off to a big lead over at first. Foul back.
You see Hector shaking his head. Another pitch elevated. Before the start of the game, you did those 2 lines to stay within that pitching lane to be successful. This inning, though, hasn't been consistent as far as staying inside that lane. He wants to deliver the baseball. That means his front shoulder's opening up and he's pulling across some of his pitches, elevating them.
VR lifts one out towards shallow center field. Trout comes in. He'll make the catch. 2 outs.
Every time before the game, he puts his 2 lines right on the pitching rubber straight down. He wants to land right in that line every time with his landing foot. That allows him to stay better balanced and finish off his pitches more consistently.
Altuve takes down and in. 1 for 1 with a single and a walk, intentional walk. Picked up a stolen base. His 11th of the year. Ground ball, weakly hit to short. Ibar should go to second. He does. And the top of the 5th is in the books. Freeze, Ibar, Giavatelli coming up for the Angels. Up 1-0. Angels, it may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Los Angeles Angels. One nothing Halos. David Freese cutting through the high fastball. David 0 for 1, a ground ball to third, back into second inning.
Real good career numbers against the Astros. That first pitch that McHugh threw to him, he had a pretty good swing at that. Just bring it down just a little bit, and that baseball will be covered. He wants to get a fastball against him, avoid that secondary pitch.
Reaching for that one, fouls it off to the right. And it's 1-2. 5 strikeouts for McHugh, 2 hits allowed, a home run to Trout in the first inning, a single to Albert in the fourth. Albert extending his hitting streak to 10 games. Jam, there's that cut fastball. That front door cut fastball.
You have to have a lot of confidence in that pitch to throw it to a right-handed batter, especially one with power, because if you leave that out over the plate, it's going a long way. It's going to be 86, and it goes right to the barrel of the bat.
Breaking ball, hooked in the left field, a base hit. Leadoff man on board for the Angels for the first time.
Good piece hit by Freese. Stayed back on that breaking ball. Especially after a cut fastball the pitch before, snapped off a curveball. Stayed back on it well enough to be able to get the good part of the bat. Hits it in the left field for a base hit for Freese. Continues to put up those numbers against the Astros.
Kind of a gift of a breaking ball with 2 strikes.
The hard slider would have been a better pitch, but that slow curveball allowed him to adjust on the pitch. Even though his hip flew open, he kept the bat back.
Eric had his mind made up. He was hacking at that pitch and was close enough. 0-1 count. He struck out looking in the second.
Starting to heat up, Eric is.
9 strikeouts combined in this ball game. 5 have been looking. So Joe West looking for strikes, and he's found them. Otherwise, you would be taking on certain pitches. You kind of have to expand just a little bit to avoid the punch out.
Four quality pitches, but no overpowering pitches from McHugh. Very difficult to steal against. He has not allowed a stolen base this year. Last year's in 11 attempts against him, just 6 stolen bases. That's pretty good as far as a ratio for a right-handed pitcher. So he's quick to the plate. Quick footwork to first also.
Tucker very shallow in left field. Marizic shallow in center. 1-1. 1-2. Stanley that cut fastball in.
And Freese has to be ready just in case one of those cut fastballs or sliders are in the dirt. He does have 2 wild pitches this year.
Just 56 pitches thrown by McHugh. Turned out to be a nice find for Houston. A waiver claim prior to 2014 from the Colorado Rockies. Ended up making 25 starts last year for the Astros, went 11-9 at a 2.73 ERA.
He does everything well. He throws a lot of strikes. 56 pitches thrown, 36 have been in the strike zone for him at this point.
It's out to right. It's playable for Rasmus. Not very deep. 1 down.
Let's take a look at our T-Mobile game changer. 2 walk-off varieties. First time for both. Carlos Perez, Major League debut, walk-off home run. Johnny Giavotella, his first career walk-off hit, an RBI double. Last time the Angels had won 3 straight walk-offs was 1993, but don't have to do that tonight. Just go ahead and win it before that 9th inning, bottom of the 9th.
Absolutely. Just play 8.5.
Yes.
Giavotella grounded out to Valbuena in the second. Freeze a short lead at first.
You wonder if that same thing is not in play here, especially for a guy that's throwing the ball as well as he is right now. Maybe another hit and run. Long look down at Dino Weevil for Giavotella.
Well, this outfield, if you look at where they're playing right now,
you're not going first to third with a hit.
No. It's almost disrespectful.
Yeah.
Very, very shallow all the way around. 2 balls, no strikes. If Giavotella hits a line or one hop of the Rasmus, that might be a play at first, even with Giavotella running. That's how shallow he's playing.
Unbelievably shallow and right. The thing with Giavotella, he's very quick on high fastballs, and McHugh, when he's not located his fastball, it's been upstairs.
2 balls and no strikes. Chopper back up the middle. Altuve to the back end, flips it to Villar, and they turn a double play. Wow.
That's going to be on everyone's highlight list right there, Altuve. We talk about what he could do with the bat, but what a play defensively. Perfect flip. 4, 6, 3. Great double play by Houston.
Play by Jose Altuve to start that double play, ending the 5th inning.
Boy, the feed was outstanding, and the sounds in the ballpark. You hear the oohs and the ahs in the stands. That's a visiting team making a play, but it was such an outstanding play by Altuve to VR for an inning double play.
2, 3, and 4 for Houston here in the 6th inning. Valbuena, Gaddis, and Rasmus. The Astros third baseman 0 for 2. Double play ball in the first, struck out in the third. 1 ball, 1 strike. One hit for Houston, 3 for the Angels. Could not lay off that high fastball. 1-2. Valbuena last year with the Cubs. Had to make room for some prospect.
Yeah, a couple feet.
Yeah. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Chris Bryant's cooled off a little bit, right?
Does he still look for his first career home run?
I think so. This one ripped foul down the first base line. Didn't he hit a bomb in Pittsburgh or something, but stayed in the yard? He hit it to the wrong place. You got to know your yard.
Yeah, exactly. He's still hitting around 290, right around that range, though.
Cubs at 14-12. How about the Cardinals? Crazy. Albuena reaches for this one. Giavotella has it. One down. Hey, you can follow the Angels all season long with MLB.com at bat. It's the #1 GUI, not 2 or 3. It's
number
the #1 app for live baseball. At bat, up to the moment, any moment. Then game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast,
and more.
Much, much more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet today.
Get back to the Cardinals, how impressive they are. Adam Wainwright's been out now for a while. He'll be out the entire season, yet they continue just to play unbelievable baseball.
Gaddis looks at an off-speed pitch for a strike, and they won again today. They beat the Cubs. As the St. Louis now 21-7.
Saw Peter Borges. I was watching that game get a triple in that game.
Still running like the wind. Now to the third, to Hopper for Freeze.
Yeah, that's one of the most fun things to see when Peter Borges is cruising around the bases like he does.
Right fielder, number 28, Colby Rasmussen.
That inside the park home run, he hit a target field to left field.
Yeah, left field.
With a bat flip because he thought he got it all.
So he wasn't necessarily running right away out of the batter's box, and all of a sudden he was around and scored, and we were both looking at each other like, how did he just do that?
That was insane. That Josh Willingham playing left, right?
Yeah. The way he cuts the corners on bases is fantastic.
Rasmus looks at a strike. Colby 0 for 2. Getting started right field. A strike down to bounce it back to the mound. Pulls this one foul. No balls at 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes.
90 pitches thrown now by Hector.
Down and away. Hector's had 1-2-3 inning. That was the second. Looking for his second here in the 6th. So from 0-2 to 3-2.
Done that a number of times today.
Yeah. And that's how that pitch count gets up there. I mean, you're talking about a team that's had 1 hit. He had 92 pitches in the 6th. And he lays off, so a 2-out walk.
That was the 5th full count. A dreaded 2-out walk again for Hector.
First baseman, number 23, Chris.
Especially with a lefty at the plate, whom you've thrown the ball well against already the first 2 times.
Yeah, he struck him out looking, and he tapped the ground ball right back to you. A couple innings in which he threw some pitches, 20 and 24.
So 4 strikeouts, 4 walks now for Santiago, facing Carter. 3 infielders on the left side. Rasmus has 1 stolen base, has been caught once. Pulled the string there on Carter. Strikeout and a walk for the Astros first baseman. 0 for 1. Two other games still being played. Alongside this one, Arizona leading San Diego 8-0 in the 6th. And the Marlins leading the Giants 4-0. That game's at the top of the 6th inning. Everything else a final. Not a full slate of games on a Thursday. Minnesota beat Oakland. Oakland's been struggling of late, 6-5 in that one. Detroit beat Chicago 4-1. Kansas City over Cleveland 7-4. See that Kluber?
Yeah, 0-5.
Wow. Reigning American League Cy Young winner.
ERA over 5 too for him.
Yankees beat Baltimore 4-3. Texas defeated Tampa Bay. down in St. Petersburg, 5-4.
Still amazed. Minnesota is now 3 games over 500. 16-13.
Went around 0-2. And while it's easy for fans to sit there and hit the big red panic button in April and early May because of a team start, there's a perfect example.
Yeah, they started
1-6.
Yeah, real slow. Paul Molitor's done a nice job managing. (0-2) count, 6 of the game for Hector.
As the old saying goes, for the most part, everyone's going to go 60-60 is what you do with the other 42.
Yeah, we saw that start last year, 16-17, and then look what the Angels did after that. You just have to find ways to win these close one-run games, and Mike Scioscia's club has had a number of them.
Well, I don't know what the conversation is here, why they're even messing around with Rasmus. This to me is when you get into trouble.
I mean, you have Carter at the plate. I don't even care what his batting average is right now. It's 151. He's got tremendous power. Even on a mistake, he can still hit the ball a long way. And he's got good career numbers against the Angels.
Well, even messing around with Rasmus. Now, some of that stuff comes from the dugout. But let's just put the inning to rest already. He's ahead of Rasmus at 0-2, walked him, now ahead of Carter 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He just tried to make a perfect pitch with a changeup. That's the ones you make a mistake with. Carter with 13 career home runs against the Angels. This is the guy, when you get ahead of the count like this, you got to finish him off quickly.
He's not looking for a walk. 2-2. Two down. Another full count.
Well, we talked about he's been ahead of the count 0-2 6 times, 4 times when he was ahead 0-2. It's fought back to a full count.
Rasmus takes off, 3-2 in the air. Down the line, tailing toward the seats. This is going to go foul. So Rasmus will head back to first base.
The next pitch will be pitch number 100. Again, Hector keeps talking about wants to get into that 7th, 8th inning. But because of the pitch count, even though he's throwing the ball well, he sometimes doubts himself. He has excellent stuff. He's throwing some pitches at 95 tonight.
3-2 again. Carter yanks it foul.
That's a changeup that almost had cut action instead of going down and away. 100 pitches, last 3 innings alone, 20, 24, now 21 after the first 3 innings. And a nice job, just 35 pitches.
That was almost another balk.
Tough time deciding what pitch to throw. I think that's why he threw over the first base. He wasn't set on that sign put down.
Popped him up. Took a while, but he popped him up. Giavotella going out there. And we will head to the bottom of the 6th inning with the Angels maintaining a 1-0 lead.
RBI for the Tasmanian Devil. Grandal for the Dodgers. 8 RBI, 4-4-2 home runs. And A-Rod passes Willie Mays for 4th in the all-time home run list with his swing tonight. We'll hit that to big boy territory in Yankee Stadium. Number 661 passes Willie Mays, whose birthday was just yesterday.
Effort Navarro leading things off for the Angels here against Colin McHugh. Effort getting to start tonight at left field. Popped out his first time up. Came in batting .235 with a double. 1 ball, 1 strike. Santiago more than likely done after 6 innings. 4 strikeouts, 4 walks, 1 hit.
For a starting pitcher, he talks to more people in the dugout than I've ever seen a starting pitcher do. Usually you just sit there in the dugout in between innings. He's always talking to his teammates.
Efren goes down swinging for the first out.
He's at all-time home run leaders. Barry Bonds at 762. Hank Aaron, 755. The Babe, 714. And now Alex Rodriguez at 661 passes the great Willie Mays.
It was just yesterday, the day before yesterday, the 100th anniversary of Babe's first home run.
And he was a good pitcher also.
Yeah. But 97 wins off the top of my head his career.
He did for a while. I don't know if it's still out there. The best ERA for a pitcher in World Series play.
Off the end of the bat, popped up to Altuve. 2 outs. So what? Top of the order now with Cole Calhoun coming up. Cole with a ground out and a strikeout. Colin McHugh, 18th round pick by the Mets in 08 out of Berry College, Georgia. Took him a little while, but he figured it out. Kind of like Corey Kluber.
Real surprised how much Kluber is struggling this year.
Cole chops it foul just in front of Alfredo. 2 balls and a strike. Yeah, for a sinker baller, I think for the most part that will stick with you regardless.
Yeah, when you're a sinker ball pitcher, more than likely it's going to take a bunch of hits to score. You're going to keep the ball in the ballpark generally.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Unless he's lost the sink, then you're in trouble.
Yeah, if you're a sinker ball pitcher and you don't have the sink, and a lot of those pitches are upstairs, you're going to give up some runs, some home runs. Hosmer hit a mammoth home run against them today in that game.
Trout on deck. Here's the 2-2. Called strike 3. Down goes Calhoun. A 1-2-3 inning for McHugh. 6 in the books. Halo still up 1-0.
Log on to MercuryInsurance.com to get a fast, free quote and see how much you could save. And by Hyundai. Great deals on amazing cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. Halos up 1-0 at the start of the 7th inning. Castro, Marisnik, and Tucker for the Houston Astros. New outfielder, left fielder for the Angels, Colin Cowgill, taking over for Efren Navarro. Hector Santiago misses way outside. Jason Castro, the catcher, 0 for 2. 2 ground ball outs. 1 to second and 1 to first. Fernando Salas getting ready.
Yeah, this might be one of those scenarios for Hector, just to get that one lefty out, and then Mike Scioscia go to the bullpen. One thing about Joe West, he is called the high strike consistently in this game.
High strike, the wide strike.
He likes that. He likes to ring hitters up. Borderline, you better be swinging if you're a hitter.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Down goes Castro, 1 down. Came right after him and challenged him. It's his 5th strikeout of the ball game. Mike Scioscia going to the pad. A pitching change here in the 7th. The Angels leading it 1-0. The 3rd innings allows 1 hit. Now it's to Jose Altuve in the 2nd pitch of the ball game for Hector Santiago. 5 strikeouts. The one he just picked up of Jason Castro is his 5th, and then the 4 walks. 1, of course, was intentional, but overall not a bad performance, which you'd like to see, and we continue to talk about this on a nightly basis when he's out on the mound, is tightening things up a little bit. The 2-out walks, 2-out hits, the 0-2 to 3-2. Those little things are going to take him to pitch deeper in a ball game.
Yeah, 4 times that happened. He talked about cutting some of his pitches like that. He was talking to Matt Shoemaker there, and that was the important thing. He cut across some of his pitches. When he stayed on top, he was throwing 95, 93 consistently. His changeup was pretty solid, not as consistent, but he had great life on his fastball.
Fernando Salas takes over on the mound, or in and out, who's in, who's out. Thirteenth game for Fernando. 0-1 record, of .450 ERA, 12 innings, 12 hits, 10 strikeouts, 2 walks. Marisnik fouls this one back. He was up to count. The Astros center fielder 0 for 2 with a fly ball to right and a strikeout looking.
Well, he doesn't get cheated at the plate. He swings extremely hard.
That's pretty much 1 through 9 in this lineup for Houston. First career appearance from Marisnick against Salas. One and two. Preston Tucker on deck. Foul back.
Nice play. Brought the glove. Wasn't easy, but he made the play.
No. Boy, nice pitch down and in. Down goes Marisnick. 2 outs.
That was an excellent changeup. And good location with that, especially with the fastball that pitched before that was elevated enough. Nine-Ed wanted this changeup down and in. Even if he hits it, he's going to pull it foul. Turned over that changeup so well. Great location, swing and miss.
Tucker lifts one out to left. Cowgirls there. 7th inning stretch time here at the Big A. Halos have Trout, Pujols, Joyce coming up. Leading at 1-0.
Trucks, we talked about Trout's home run being Bo Jackson territory going back to 1989, the All-Star game. Bo Jackson against Rick Russell, dead center field. Crushed that baseball. Mike Trout, last night, going to similar territory that Bo Jackson went, dead center field. 2 tremendous athletes with great power to center field.
Trout 1 for 2 with that home run in the first. Struck you out of the 4th. This is out toward right field. That's hit well. Moving back on it is Rasmus. He'll curl around and eventually makes a diving catch in front of the track. The way that Rasmus broke back on it, thinking that ball's over his head.
Yeah, it was hit well, was squared up. But it would have been real interesting if he doesn't make that play. Might be able to see a potential inside the park the way he had to go after and circle around on that baseball. But able to track it down in the end. Going away. Sliding. Making a catch on it. Wasn't easy.
It's the old standard run back to the warning track and turn left.
Looking for the coverage. That was the old down and out pattern.
Pujols looks at a strike, extended his hitting streak to 10 games in the 4th inning with a single. Just missed it. 3 hits for the Angels. The home run by Trout, the single by Pujols, and the single by Freese. 7 punch outs for McHugh. No walks. He's just at 75 pitches. This one down the line, backhanded by Valbuena. Across the diamond, low throw dug out by Carter, 2 outs. Hey, stay tuned later tonight in the postgame show for the Business of Sports, brought to you by AutoNation.com and powered by AutoNation Ford Tustin. It's now 76 pitches for McHugh, and really, if you go back and look at Hector's line, inning by inning, the only exception being the 3rd, because it should have been a 1-2-3 inning. Giavotella made the error. But aside from that one, the 4th inning, the prolonged at-bat, or the walk in the 5th inning, and then the 2-out walk in the 6th inning to Rasmus. Aside from that, Hector should be in the game right around the same amount of pitches.
Exactly.
80, 85 or thereabouts. Because he came out attacking hitters.
Getting ahead of a lot of them, too.
Yeah.
Just didn't finish off a number of them. That's why that pitch count went that way. McHugh's been great around himself around the strike zone.
What was it, 4 times tonight that Hector got ahead 0-2 and then went to 3-2.
Yes. Joe Smith getting ready for that familiar 8th inning.
12 pitches right there.
Yep.
Matt Joyce 0-2. That's pulled down the line, foul just out in front.
Monday key for this game. Sipping on fire, looking for a fastball. They've hit a couple good fastballs this inning, but other than that, McHugh has really changed speeds well. He doesn't, like I said in the beginning of the game, does not throw a lot of fastballs. Only 30%. He will cut his fastball, but when you get a fastball, you got to do the damage. Trout did back in the 1st inning. That's it.
3 balls, 1 strike.
One of the most pitches he's thrown in any inning so far in this game. 14 back in the 1st. 8-pitch, 4th inning.
Freese on deck. Here's the 3-1. This one's pulled and just beyond the reach of Carter down the line. Joyce turns, is headed to second base to throw from Rasmus. Offline, it's a double for Matt Joyce. His 4th of the season.
Getting one of those fastballs, and that was one of those fastballs he was able to get a good part of the bat and over the head of Chris Carter. Not an easy thing to do. Right down in the corner. 4th double for Joyce. Played well by Rasmus, got it in quickly, but Joyce at second base in scoring position. A potential big run here for the Angels.
Freese a 1-for-2 game, singled out to left field in the 5th. 1-0. Watch out. They got help. With the breaking ball. We'll give Ibar an opportunity here.
I saw that earlier. It looked like he tried to throw that indoor cut fastball. This time he got around it and hits David Freese.
3rd time Freese has been hit this year. It's the 1st batter that McHugh has plunked.
See if we'll start off Eric Aybar with that slow curveball again, down and in. If you're Eric, if it's in the dirt, let it go.
0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly ball to right.
Looked like Eric was looking for the breaking ball, got a fastball there. Sonny makes some mistakes. That's a changeup. Dropped his wrist.
Ball hits a run to him. Joyce with a 2-out double stands at second. Freeze hit by a pitch over at first. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And ran that cut fastball off the plate. So he's made a couple mistakes in this sequence so far against Aybar. Even the first pitch, the fastball pretty much down the middle of the plate. Didn't want to do that. Change up well off the plate. Cut fastball well off the plate.
Breaking ball. Couldn't lay off. That's a pitch that continues to plague Eric Aybar this year. Breaking ball and hard sliders down and in.
You remember in the beginning part of last year, that was a pitch he was chasing, and all of a sudden he stopped chasing it. By the end of the year, ended up with a career high as far as RBI.
Two now. Breaking ball, ground to second. Now Altuve has it. And they've played 7 here at the Big A. Halos maintaining a 1-0 lead.
In another tight game, Angels over the Astros 1-0 heading to the top of the 8th. I'm Patrick O'Neill. Join us for Angels Live after what appears to be another exciting game. Alex Curry with the interviews. Jose Mota will join me as well. And the last couple of Angels Lives have been pretty lively thanks to the heroics from Carlos Perez and Johnny Giavotella. I asked Carlos Perez what was his greatest baseball moment prior to the walk-off. He said it was playing winter ball in Venezuela. He had a game-winning home run in the top of the 13th, so it wasn't even a walk-off. Now I asked Johnny Giavotella about his greatest moment. He said it was a tough one. He's going to have to go with his first ever knock in the bigs. It came against Detroit when he was with the Royals off of Porcello under the glove of Cabrera. But because of the walk-off and the impact that it had for the Angels, that might be the best moment. Back to Victor and Mark.
Patrick, we appreciate it, and you're right about Carlos Perez had a fantastic winter campaign down there playing for Caracas in Venezuela, along with former Angel Bobby Abreu. Carlos hit .331, kind of elevating his status in the offseason. Great nugget there. It's Joe Smith pitching in his 14th game. Takes over here in the 8th inning. 1-0 Halos. Villar, Altuve, and Valbuena. The scheduled 3 hitters for the Astros. Villar 0 for 2 as he cuts and fouls off the first one. No balls and a strike. Joe Smith last night threw 11 pitches. Tuesday threw 18 pitches. 1 inning last night with 1 strike and a hit batter. Broken bat bouncer toward the middle. Now a sneak through for a base hit. So Vitello playing Villar to pull. Could not get to that ball. So the leadoff man is on board, and comes out Altuve.
A good pitch too off the end of the bat. Well, it's one of those plays you just think as a pitcher that there's going to be someone there, but that ball has found the perfect spot to get into the outfield. And he gets pretty good speed at first and really good speed at the plate.
Altuve 0 for 7 against Joe Smith.
Altuve will roll into an occasional double play. He's rolled into 3 of them this season.
Villar has 1 stolen base. Has not been caught. Altuve taps this one foul. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 5 left on for the Houston Astros. The Angels have a run on 4 hits. They've committed 1 error. They've stranded 2. Slider away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Last couple of nights, it's been a little shaky for this Angels bullpen. But the Halos, heroics, coming up with a victory in each of those. Tying run on board. Leadoff single by Villar over at first base. 1 ball, 1 strike on Altuve. He's had a 1 for 2 game. Hector Santiago 6 1/3 tonight. Salas 2/3 of an inning. And 1 strikeout to finish off the 7th. Foul off to the right. 1 and 2 now. Mentioned that Altuve and will roll into a double play. He's rolled into 3 this year, along with several others have rolled into 3 this year for the Astros. So technically tied for the team lead. On a slowly hit ball, very difficult with his speed. Calhoun very shallow in right field. Here comes the 1-2 downstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Look, Joe sped up his delivery, quick pitch.
Now the 2-2. Slider away, full count. Figure Villar will be on the move here, trusting Altuve at the plate to make contact.
Try to get that old strike him out, throw him out. Got a pretty good sized lead.
Luis Valbuena on deck. Takes off this one out toward right center field. Long run over for Cole. He's there, however. He'll make the catch heading back to first base as VR. Wow.
A big out, especially keeping Altuve off the base. He's upset with himself and then fly out the right field. He walks back into the dugout. It's a huge out for Joe Smith and the Angels.
So it's Valbuena now. 0 for 3. Double play ball in the first. 0 for 1 against Joe. Boy, VR's got a huge lead at first.
And he was going. That's the time now. Right, the very next time you go in the stretch position, step off and then fire the first.
VR takes off. The pitch out is on. The throw down to second base. A good one. And safe at second. Very good throw by Chris Iannetta. He did everything he could. And it's a stolen base for VR, his second of the season.
Mike Scioscia may check
look at it. Yep. At least he's having the guys downstairs review it. Doesn't look like he got the arm.
The ball beats him, but the tag was on the leg before the hand got in there, it looked like.
Yep. That's one where you're catching it up front and trying to bring it back with the glove. Good throw by Iannetta. Tying run in scoring position now. Valbuena takes down low. So 2 balls and no strikes.
Has part of the base blocked also. Just getting that hand in. Chris thought he got him. Perfect location for the pitch out from Joe Smith also.
This one pulled to first. Albert will take it himself. 2 outs. You know, and seeing the reaction from Iannetta. I mean, a quick reminder of a guy. He knows what he's been unable to do this year, both offensively and defensively. And it's a little thing like that. If he gets that out,
that's going to help as it bats.
There's no, you don't understand as a player when you're struggling that badly as he has. All it takes is a little something good like that you executed perfectly to kind of get you going a little bit. At least that is the hope.
Yeah, everything was done right. Mike Scioscia guessed right. The pitch out was the perfect height for Joe Smith, and the throw was there. The thing is, Joe, because of being a sidewinder, you're a little bit longer. The times that it played a little bit longer, more difficult for a catcher to throw out a would-be base stealer.
1-0 pitch to Ganis. Evens up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. The Astros DH 0 for 3. A fly ball to right and twice is grounded out to Freeze at third. One ball, 2 strikes. Gaddis 1 for 2 in his career against Smith. Now the 1-2. Slider got him swinging. Down goes Gaddis. And the Astros stand a tying run at third. Right to the bottom of the 8th. 1-0 Angels.
hit, had a 10-game history. Altuve 1 for 3, also with a stolen base, so that helps out. 1 for 3 for Pagan with a single, and Stanton 1 for 3 with an RBI single. So 1 for 3 was the theme.
Yeah, you were calling for what? Maybe 1, maybe 2 home runs for Stanton.
I really, especially maybe that was that long flight across the country. That's what it was.
That would get you every time.
Yeah, he was playing the Nationals. He crushed the ball. Scherzer. Dan Herron had a good game though.
Ground ball down the line. That'll sneak through. Headed for extra bases. Giavotella on with a leadoff double. That's his 5th double of the season.
Right down the line for Giavotella. One of those times you just try to manufacture the run. You got a good bunter up here with Colin Cowgill at the plate. Bueno well off the line, right down that third base line. Talk about the need to manufacture some runs. We talked about the Angels certainly hitting the long ball to score the majority of the runs. It's that manufacturing the runs so important. This is one of those times to get this one across.
Cowgill pushes the button to first base side. It's a cue. The fielder goes on to Altuve. Giavotella ends up at third. 1 out.
Nice job by Cowgill. What we've seen so far from INN against McHugh, he's thrown a lot of breaking balls in the dirt. Mindset, you're trying to get something elevated, so whether it's a hanging breaking ball or a fastball upstairs, that's the pitch you attack. Anything downstairs, you let go.
Chris 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a pop-up. Infield in for Houston. Carter way off the line at first. Boy, good rip.
And that's the pitch he was looking for. That one, thigh high, the pitch you can hit in the air. Now for Giavotella, he's going to go back to his breaking ball more than likely now. You have to be aggressive. You can get a lead. It's a good secondary lead.
Outfield very shallow as well for Houston. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, lifted foul and out of play.
Interesting the way this defensive alignment, especially on the left side of the infield, they're almost right next to each other.
Upstairs. Yeah, to pull on the infield. The opposite way in the outfield. Marisnik got toward right center field. Rasmus a little bit toward the line.
And the contact play will be on.
Giavotella standing at third.
Wow.
Blocked by
That's
Castro.
an unbelievable block.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
That was in the left-handed batter's box. Overthrown breaking ball. But as a catcher, you anticipate that. The body in front, the glove down. Didn't turn the glove the other way. Otherwise, it gets between the legs and it's a run scored.
.95 pitches thrown by Colin McHugh, the starter. 7 strikeouts, no walks. There's the 2-2 downstairs. Full count now. Cole Calhoun on deck.
I still don't think he's going to throw him a fastball here. I think he still will come back even 3-2 count.
Right, you would think that your options on the mound here are that front door cut fastball to lock him up, or go with that slow stuff away.
If I'm on the mound right now, I'm throwing him a slider. Hopefully he'll hang one here if he does throw one.
Goes with the breaking ball, and it is ball 4 off the plate. So the middle infield will drop back in double play depth now, you would assume, with Cole Calhoun coming up.
Don't forget a pitching change here.
A.J. Hinch is going out.
Lefty up in the bullpen earlier.
It's Joe Thatcher, the former Angel. Now they are going to make the pitching change. So they are going to go lefty-lefty here. A pitching change in the 8th. Halos with runners at the corners and 1 out. Leading at 1-0. NBA playoff action plus highlights from tonight's MLB games. You can see Fox Sports Live tonight at 11 p.m. on Fox Sports 1 or see it simulcast right here on Fox Sports West. Left-hander Joe Thatcher comes into the ball game. 12th appearance for him this year for the Astros. New record of 2.35 ERA. 7 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 9 strikeouts, and 1 walk so far for the Astros. And he'll be facing Cole Calhoun. So the lefty-lefty matchup is on here. The Angels have runners at first and third. Giavotella, the base runner, at third base. And Chris Iannetta at first.
Thatcher, a lot of fastballs thrown, 83 to 87. Also will throw a slider. He will bounce his slider occasionally when he overthrows it, though.
Middle infield is back, looking for the double play ball. Valbuena in on the grass at third. Cole lines one out to left field. That'll get down for a base hit. It'll bring in a run. It's 2-0 Halos.
It's a well-manufactured run by the Angels and Cole Calhoun. With now 16 RBI. He's done a great job against lefty pitchers, batting now 400. Giavotella scores the second run of the game.
Pitching change. The matchup did not work out. Halos lead at 2-0. delivering an RBI single, facing Joe Thatcher. A.J. Hinch going a lefty-lefty matchup, but for a team that looks at numbers quite a bit in defensive shifts, forgot the fact that Cole Calhoun's hitting .375 against left-handed pitching this year.
And they only went up, and with that swing of the bat that stayed with the pitch and tried to pull it, drives it in the left field for an RBI single. Stay back. That was important. Didn't get out in front on the swing. Let it travel. Productive hit.
Here's Pat Neshek, 13th game for him this year. 2-0 record of .435 ERA. Facing Trout. Mike 1 for 3 with a home run back in the first inning. And he'll look at a strike. Trout 2 for 7 in his career against Neshek. The 2 hits, both triples. Foul at the plate, 0-2.
The first inning, Trout got a fastball from McHugh, who threw the ball very well this entire game. Riznick could not bring that one back. Trout crushing the hand of Dina Weeble around third base. His 8th home run.
Iannetta drew a walk, stands at second. Calhoun at first. Pujols on deck.
And Neshek fastball, 87-92. Not overpowering, but good movement. Solid slider and changeup.
And that is out towards center field. Marisnick moving back on it. And he'll make the catch. Chris Iannetta, for some reason, was halfway between second and third.
Yeah, because you want to get to third base, especially for Neshek, because he throws a lot of pitches in the dirt with his slider.
That's an automatic tag up right there.
Yeah, you can see the frustration there from Mike Scioscia, because he's going that far back. He's going to be easy. Both runners will advance, and you've taken away a force out.
Exactly. So 2 outs now, and Pujols will bat here. Albert, a 1 for 3 game. Extended his hitting streak to 10 games in the 4th inning with a base hit. He's 2 for 8 in his career against Neshek. Both of his hits, home runs.
I like it.
Fastball up and away. Neshek last year was with the St. Louis Cardinals. Went 7-2. 6 saves. At a 1.87 ERA, a whip of .79. Two balls, no strikes. Neshek came up with Minnesota, pitched in San Diego briefly for a season, 2 seasons with Oakland, 1 season with St. Louis. Signing with the Astros in the offseason. Howard gets jammed and will loft this one foul and out of play. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, much different bullpen this year for Houston. Very effective bullpen.
No doubt.
ERA bullpen wise nearly 2.5 runs less this year as compared to last year.
Yeah, 8-2 with a 2.16 ERA. That's the 2nd best ERA in the American League, behind the Kansas City Royals.
I think they were around about 4.7 or so last year.
Two on and 2 outs. 2-1 pitch. Albert pulls this one foul. That fastball running up and in on him. So it evens up the count now at 2-2. Houston in the 9th inning as Rasmus, Carter, and Castro coming up. Houston Street is loosening in the pen. Cesar Ramos also playing catch. In case Albert gets a hold of one, Cesar would finish off things. Reaching for that slider. Provides a souvenir.
Yeah, he's certainly fought off some really tough pitches.
Do you go back inside?
Yeah, I think he's going to do that. Break a ball, start on the hip, and try to bring the inside corner.
Foul.
Well, at some point, he's made some unbelievable pitches against Albert in the sequence. But eventually, he's going to make a mistake.
Yeah.
He's fought off a number of pitchers' pitches. Now he's looking for one for himself here, the drive.
Yet another 2-2, and Albert hits one, and it hits Chris Iannetta for the third out. Are you kidding me? That would have been the third run. That would have been an RBI single. That's the second time this year that has happened to the Angels. We head to the ninth, up 2-0. Joe Smith, a scoreless eighth inning. Houston Street looking for the same here in the ninth inning. He threw 25 pitches last night. Gave up the run in the ninth inning to tie things up, but the Angels winning it in the bottom of the ninth. He ends up picking up the victory. So a blown save, but a win for Houston, who's now 2-0, a 1.64 ERA. Ended up facing 6 batters last night. And here in the ninth, Colby Rasmus will lead things off for the Astros, and then Chris Carter and Jason Castro.
Yeah, 4 career saves against Houston for Houston Street. It'll be his 8th game, 6 1/3. Throwing the ball very well. No runs against the Astros.
Hey, by the way, Albert gets credited for a base hit on the runner's interference there. And Albert clearly upset that the ball fouled Iannetta. And the way that ball was hit and the way the alignment was for the Astros in the outfield, there's a good chance.
I mean, that was a missile.
That could have gotten 2 runs in with Cole at first base. That ball going all the way to the wall. That ball was scalded. Rasmus 0 for 2, did draw a walk the last time up. Hooks this one out to right field. Cole comes in, dives, not going to get there. Short hops his glove, but it stays in front of him, fortunately. So the Astros get their leadoff man on board.
First baseman, number 23, Chris Carter.
Cole coming in on the baseball. Dives, that ball's in front of him. Fortunate enough, keeps it in front, so you keep the double play in order. Cole always aggressive. Fortunate enough to be able to keep that in front of him.
Carter swinging a miss. He's 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout, a walk, and a pop-up. Down in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Third straight game in which Street has pitched in. The same for Joe Smith. That is line to left. The base hit. Broke his bat. So now the first 2 have reached for the Astros here to start the 9th inning.
Catcher number 15, Jason Castro.
Off the end of the bat. Carter's so strong, but it was elevated enough. Most times you see a flare into the outfield. It's something it's elevated.
Running for the Astros at first base, number 19, Robbie Grossman.
Robbie Grossman is the pinch runner over at first base. So Rasmus at second, Grossman at first. Nobody out. Jason Castro, an 0 for 3 game. 2 ground out to the strikeout. This should come into the 9th inning with just 2 hits on the night. Altuve single in the first inning leading off the game. And the VR single leading off the 8th against Joe Smith. 1 ball, no strikes. Hector Santiago, 6 1/3 scoreless, 1 hit allowed, 5 strikeouts, 4 walks. Fernando Salas, 2/3 of an inning. Smith, 1. Good off-speed pitch, and again a little bit high.
And you can see the frustrations by Houston when he threw that pitch.
Freeze off the line at third base. Ibarb trying to keep Rasmus close to the bag at second. Now the 1-1. Fastball in there. Lower part of the strike zone. Castro doesn't like the call.
Great spot. Now Cal Gill has to be ready for something out his way. Looks like Houston's going to stay away against him. Hitting that outside corner.
Just got to stay down in the zone. The 1-2. This one fouled off.
That was up. Even away off the plate, when it's elevated, a left-handed batter against a right-handed pitcher can make good contact. Now if that sinks down and away off the plate, you get a ground ball, potential double play.
Jake Marisnick on deck. Nobody out here tonight. 2-0 Angels. This game 1 of a 4-game series against the Astros. In the air, out towards center. Playable for Trout. 1 down. Rasmus remains at second.
Trout did a nice job getting behind that baseball to be able to make a strong throw in to the infield.
Marisnick, the center fielder, 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts and a fly ball to right. Dangerous hitter too, popping his bat. Boy, good pitch off the end of the bat.
Have an aggressive hitter at the plate. You can try to exploit that and make it some quality pitches out of the strike zone.
Oh, 1 count. Anna sets up outside. Boy, good pitch again. 0-2. You get 2 of those type of swings, you figure you kind of stay right there, maybe a little bit further away.
I'd say a little bit further away.
Rasmus at second, the pinch runner Grossman at first. Now the 0-2. He went away, fouled back.
A little higher than I think Houston wanted to throw that pitch.
And stay with the slider, right?
Yes.
Don't even think about throwing a changeup.
Especially for a right-handed batter, because they have the chance to run too much to the plate.
And with everything hit so far, first couple of at-bats where he's missed, it's been up on the off-speed. This one's line to left. A base hit. Rasmus going to be waved in. Calgill couldn't get the ball out of his glove. It's an RBI single, and it's a 2-1 lead. Boy, Colin, if he comes up with it cleanly, he's got to play on Rasmus.
He's got a shot at it. He's too much to the plate. It was a right pitch selection, but he was able to reach out. You can expand the zone, and he had a chance. Colin charged it well, but couldn't get a grip of the baseball, and that slight hesitation allowed Rasmus to score the first run of the game.
So the tying run now in scoring position. Marisnick snaps it 0 for 14. Here's Preston Tucker. He pulls one to the right side. That's a base hit. His first major league hit. Grossman coming in to score. This game is tied. Calhoun airmails freeze, and everybody is safe. It's a 2-2 game. Second straight night Houston Street has blown a save, as he has given up his 4th hit of the night, or in the 9th inning.
A lot of the plate. Tucker hits that ball well. Albert almost made the play on that one.
First major league hit for Tucker.
Fortunate enough that ball was low enough over Freeze's head to hit the protective screen by the dugout to stay in play.
I figure they'll give Calhoun an error for allowing Tucker to get into scoring position. Infield in now, 1 out. Here's Jonathan Villar, 1 for 3 game. And how big does the bottom of the 8th look now?
Could expand that lead, especially with a great swing. Finally got a pitch to hit well, and Pujols crushed that ball.
No error for Calhoun. And a 2-0 count on Villar. At this point, this might be his last batter. 16 pitches. The lefty, Cesar Ramos getting ready. And now it's 3-0 with Altuve on deck. It has been a balancing act for the Angels the last couple of nights. Now make it 3 consecutive nights late in a game. You know what? Make that 4. With the Mariners scoring 2 in the 7th and 1 in the 8th in Monday's contest. 3-0. Looking to strike. 3-1. So a 2-0 lead evaporates here in the 9th inning. Jake Marisnick got the first RBI. Preston Tucker the second. 3-1 pitch upstairs, and he walked him. So they're loaded up now for Jose Altuve. I'm surprised it's just a lefty in the pen. Worried more about Valbuena than you are Altuve here. With Mike feeling more confidence in Street to face Altuve than anybody else he's got in the bullpen right now. But he's about to throw his 20th pitch. Remember, 3rd consecutive game, and command has been an issue here in tonight's game.
Yeah, he's missed his spots a number of times with his off-speed pitches.
Altuve tonight 1 for 3. Infield back at double play depth. First one is down low, 1-0. Houston with the bases loaded this year, 5 for 16. Marisnick at 3rd, Tucker at 2nd, and Villard first. Off speed. A mistake pitch as far as location is concerned. Altuve takes it for a strike, and it's 1-1.
Looking for somehow, some way to get a double play ball. Altuve's rolling into 3 of them.
Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Cole shallow in right field. Same with Cowgill. Freeze back at 3rd, and Poole's just about even with the bag at 1st. Now the 1-2. Broken bat roller towards second base. Giovatello feeds dive off for 1. Back to 1st. Not in time. The run scores, and the Astros lead it 3-2. A fielder's choice and an RBI for Jose Altuve.
You can see how quick Altuve was getting down the line. Especially off the end of the bat, it was going to be extremely difficult to turn a double play against him, especially how far away Ibar was from the base itself.
So Mike Scioscia's out. That's going to be it for Houston Street. Cesar Ramos coming to the ball game. Astros on top 3-2.
what was once a 2-0 lead, it's a 3-2 deficit now. And, let's go back to the 8th inning, the bottom of the 8th inning with Pujols at the plate.
And Albert just had a real good at bat, working the count, fighting with some tough pitches, and a line drive hits Chris Iannetta. Albert upset. That ball was hit so hard, there's no doubt in my mind that's getting Iannetta home, and then potentially 2-run score on that ball because it was going to split the alley in left center field. Huge run. It was not on the board for the Angels. It's come back to haunt them now.
Ramos pitching his 13th game, 1-0 record, a 1.08 ERA, facing Luis Valbuena, the left-handed batter. With runners at the corners, Tucker at third base, Altuve at second. Let's see if Altuve's on the move early in the plate appearance. Valbuena's 0 for 4. The first one is down low. 1 ball, no strikes. Count even up at 1 ball, 1 strike. The Angels in the bottom of the 9th have Joyce, Freeze, and Ibar due up. Looks like Chad Qualls will be coming into the ball game. The Halos looking for magic for the 3rd consecutive night. Now the 1-1. 1-2. Say this for Joe West, he's been consistent with the strike zone tonight. Whether you like it or not, at least for the most part, every one of those pitches has been called a strike. One-two. Down low. In the dirt. Altuve will take second on the wild pitch. So 2 in scoring position now.
We're throwing break a ball in the dirt. Especially with someone on third base is trying to keep that in front. Squared up his shoulders well, use the chest protector, keeping it front.
Two balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. That's a called strike 3. Valbuena doesn't like it. Top of the 9th is in the books, but the Astros get the damage done. Halos down by a run now.
Well, we've seen this in this homestand. Some walk-off varieties,
Carlos Perez in his major league debut walked off with a home run. Excitement at home plate. And then last night, Johnny Giavitello with a hit and run on. Hit the ball double down the right field line, scoring Eric Ibar for back-to-back walk-off wins at home here at the Big A. Can we see potentially the third straight? First time that would be since 1993 here at the Big A.
Luke Gregerson comes into the ball game. Qualls was warming, but Gregerson takes the ball here. 14th game, 2-0 record, a 2.77 ERA.
Yeah, fastball's 87-92, slider throws a lot, changeup. He's thrown the ball exceptionally well in his career versus the Angels with an ERA 0.54 over 16 games for Gregerson.
Matt Joyce, David Freese, Eric Ibar. First three batters here in the ninth. Joyce a 1-for-3 game, doubled in the seventh. He will look at a strike to double, his fourth of the season.
Well, certainly a lot of room down the left field line. If Joyce hits one's down there.
Off speed pitch, 0-2. 7 hits tonight for the Angels, 2 by Albert. One ball, 2 strikes. Now the 1-2. Joyce fouls it off. We saw it the last couple of nights, with the exception of the Perez walk-off, because that was a leadoff home run to start the ninth in a tie game. Freese worked the walk yesterday to start the ninth. Ibar reached on the fielder's choice. And then it was Giavitello. So we're looking for a base runner here. Somehow, some way. That's pulled foul. Count remains at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Another 1-2. Down with the off speed, 1 down.
Real good changeup for Gregerson. Changes speed exceptionally well. He's got a good slider too. Enough movement on his fastball to get a ground ball out.
Freese 1 for 2, was hit by a pitch in his last plate appearance. It's a hanging breaking ball for a strike. Oh for 8 in his career against Gregerson. And that's out towards center field. Marisnik was playing back. Tracks it down for the second out. Got him to reach for that one. So the Halos down to the last out here tonight. Down 3-2. Eric Ibar coming up 0 for 3. A strikeout, fly ball to right, and a ground ball to second. Oh, what? Had to buy an idea to show bunt. If he could drag a bunt, Marwin Gonzalez, the new first baseman, was playing deep.
He just somehow, some way, got to get on base. Giavitello's had that magic swing so far this year as an Angel on deck.
1-1 pitch, Sybar. Chopper toward first base. Marwin Gonzalez is there. And the Angels drop the opening game of the series to the Houston Astros. 3-2 the final.
I think you're seeing with the difference this year from last year for Houston. Their bullpen is solid. They were able to keep it close, and then some big swings in the ninth inning for the Astros. They pulled this one out 3-2.
Bullpen issue for the Angels once again, and unfortunately unable to find the magic as they found the last two nights. 3-2 the final. Stick around. Angels Live is coming up next.